What's up, guys? I'm Justin Davis of Drone Camps RC. Today, we're going to check out something brand new from iFlight. It's the Commando 8, and just talk about the various different versions that they released that you can get. I have the 2.4 version here. It is a CC2500 4-in-1 chip, and as well as the ELRS built-in external module. So it's built into the very back of it right here, but you can switch it out to use other types of modules in the back. If you want to run Crossfire or ELRS, you can do all that with this radio. So we're going to talk about some of the things I like about it, and we're also going to take a look at some of the things that I might not like about this one versus one of my all-time favorites, which is the Zorro. So can it compare to the Zorro? You're about to find out. Let's go ahead and jump right into it now and talk about Commando 8 from iFlight. Here we go.
Hey guys, I'm Rebecca. You have a chance to win this DJI FPV drone, the case, and 2 batteries. We're gonna choose one of the next 100,000 subscribers to be our lucky winner. So please subscribe, good luck, and happy FPV.
All right, so this is the box that you get. It's around $129 for the version 1, the version 2, the version 3, and the version 4. So the Commando version 1 is ELRS 2.4, and it is 500 milliwatt. We talked about the different power output settings on this radio before on the channel. We have version 2, which is ELRS 868 and 915 megahertz, up to 1 watt, which is pretty good. Version 3, Commando 8, comes in at CC2500, which is a 4-in-1 module, but it's not the full-blown 4-in-1 module, so it only has about 10 different types of receiver protocols in there. We'll talk about those a little bit later. Version 4 is available too with CC2500 ELRS at 915 megahertz as well. So you can do a combination of ELRS and you can do some different protocols on there. So not just stuck to ELRS with these radios, which is cool. And that one also is 1 watt. So let's go ahead and open up the box as well, and you can see what's inside. So right now mine's sitting in there. Usually a little piece of plastic over top of it. You pull that off, and you have 2 sticks right here, which you can pull off and screw into the radio itself. And this is the radio with a flip-up antenna, which I like. It can kind of flip up and down for transport, which is nice. The other thing I like about this radio is it does do a vertical setup as well. So depending on how you have your receiver mounted on your quad, you want to have it the same way on your radio when you're flying, so you don't have a possible fail-safe. And aside from liking a moving antenna, I also like the fact that it does not have a momentary switch over here on the left-hand side like another radio that we reviewed on the channel. This one has a 2-position arm switch right here, which is what most of us use on the left-hand side. We also have a 3-position switch here for modes or beeper or whatever functions you like to put on here. Another 3-position one here and another 2-position one here. And it doesn't have any switches on the back, but it does have a module bay. It has the 2.4 ELRS module bay right here, which is already installed. It has 2 bolts and it will pull out. You can also get an external module bay for something else, like you want to run, say, Crossfire Micro. You can also do that with this as well, and it just plugs in with 1 cable, and you're off and running with Crossfire on your Commando 8. And one other thing about this radio that I didn't see is front-facing pot adjustment here for tension, spring tension on the gimbals. We don't have that bolt in the very front there, or access point. It's actually on the back of the radio. So if you look at the back of the radio, there's a little divot right here, and that's where you pop this cover off. Once you pop the cover off, you'll have access to 2 ports on each side, 1 on each side, and you can put your driver in there. A 2mm driver will allow you to do spring tension adjustment. But I think that also the grips as well, they're not quite as grippy as the Zorro. They feel more like a harder plastic and less like rubber. So that's one thing to note for if you're a pincher or a guy with thumbs on sticks. It's just going to be a little bit not quite as grippy feeling as the ones with full-on rubber back grips. So on the very bottom is where we switch this transmitter on, and we press once and press again. And there you go. You now have a speaker inside this transmitter. When it originally came out, the prototypes did not have a speaker active. So now they have a speaker built into the radio, which is super nice. And you can see there's Commando 8. I have my battery voltage there, and it does have a lithium ion battery inside. There are 2 lithium ion batteries in there, 18650s at 2000 milliamp down inside here. So you can pull those out as well. You can access them by this point right here and pull this grip off, and then you can recharge them if you want. You can also recharge them from the USB-C port on the bottom. And I have to make another comment about the sticks as well. These feel pretty grippy. They feel pretty sharp, but they're not overly sharp. So they're really not like sticking me in the thumb. I've had some other grips that I've got recently that were so sharp that they actually poked me and made me bleed. So I think the sticks on here are pretty nice, and they are Hall gimbals as well. So these are Hall sensor gimbals that we are flying on the Commando 8. Now, if you move the sticks, the LED light comes back on, and now you can see that we're ready to go into the menus. We see our trim adjustment there as well. If you go to the right, you'll get into models. If you go left, you'll get back, and then down will be menus. Long press, and it'll take you into the system menu right here. So now we can see that we have Betaflight set up here. We can use the right joystick to go up and down and to make a selection. So if you wanted to go into setup Express LRS, you go all the way down there and click on that button. Then it's going to load up. It's going to show you your packet rate there, telemetry ratio, switch mode. You can also turn on model matching there, which is a unique feature that this radio has, which is pretty cool. TX power, VTX administrator, Wi-Fi connectivity, so you can do automatic updates over Wi-Fi to your receivers, which is kind of cool. And BLE joystick, and we have finally the bind button right there. So if we want to bind, we press that. And now we're in binding mode, and it's looking for a receiver, which we don't have right now. But again, if we want to get back out of these menus, we can keep pressing back until we get all the way back out of the menus to the main menu. Now, to access a model, that's pretty simple too. We're just going to press over to the right with this joystick, and then we're going to press with the right joystick to the right again, and it's going to take us into the setup menu, which is pretty good. You're going to get used to that after doing it a few times. Now, if you go all the way to the bottom, back around, you'll see CRSF is selected. My baud rate's 400K, status is 500 hertz, and channel range is 1 through 16, and receiver 00. Trainer mode is off, obviously, but you can turn on trainer mode as well. You can also fly simulators with this radio. Some of you are going to ask that, but absolutely, you can fly simulators with the Commando 8. And some of you guys may ask what protocols are in there besides the ELRS. If you get the CC2500 version, which is the only version you have, you're going to be able to use a few different types of protocols. You'll be able to use SFHSS, you'll be able to use D16, FrSky, and D8 as well. So some people asked if they could use D8. Yes, you can. So let's go ahead and scroll down to the bottom, and we're going to turn off crossfire here for the external module, and that's how you're going to access your multi-protocol. So we'll go all the way to off here, and all the way to off, and now we'll go back, and then we'll go back up to internal RF, and we'll just turn that on to multi. So now you can see that there is FlySky here. You can do FlySky receivers, you can do Corona, you can do, let's go FrSky RX, FrSky X, which is D16 and D8, FrSky X2, FrSky L, Futaba, which is super cool, High Tech, HOTT protocol, Radlink as well, Red Pine, Sky Arctic, and that's about it for the different protocols. So it doesn't have like 100 protocols like a typical JP 4-in-1 module would have. And remember, this is the CC2500 version here. Another thing you need to know is the fact that they do have shorter and longer sticks available from iFlight. So they have an 18.8 millimeter stick height one. They also have a 20.8 millimeter and a 22.8 millimeter on the tallest stick. Different guys like different height sticks, and they're constantly adjusting their stick height. So it's nice that they do offer a different stick height available. And I'll try to put the link down below for those. To remove the ELRS module in the back, it's pretty easy. You just have two M2 bolts there. Pull those off with your driver. Then you pull this back plate off, and this is your ELRS module. It has two connection points to the board. It has the antenna connection here. You can pop off that UFL connector and this main harness. And once you do that, you're ready to get your external module installed on the back. So it has one harness point right here. You're just going to plug in the harness cable that came along with it into the back of the radio, and then you're ready to use your Crossfire module. Just make sure you have external external module protocol selected to on, and then CRSF, and you'll be good to go for Crossfire. And what I like the most about ELRS is the fact that it's open source firmware on these radios. You can go to GitHub and search for Express LRS Configurator, download it for Mac, PC, or Linux, which is kind of nice. Then you can choose what target you'd like to flash to it, the most recent target, and the device. It'll show up as iFlight on there, as iFlight Commando 8. You can do standard or manual mode, and once you do that, you can hit the build mode to select changes, or you can build and reflash it totally. So kind of nice. Mine did come with an SD card, and I love the options that ELRS is giving us. And iFlight Commando, the Commando 8's finally to the point where it is going to be okay and ready for the public. So I've had about 3 different versions of this radio now, and this is finally the public release of the Commando 8. So I appreciate you guys watching again on the channel. I will see you on the next one. Take care.